If you offer services, especially the creative ones, this might hit a little bit close to home. When I started my business, I was sure of one thing. I wanted to provide video production services for entrepreneurs who actually valued strategy, data, and real results, not just someone looking for pretty videos. The thing is, once you figure out how to get 5 clients, you know how to get 50. The problem though is that having a client is different than having a good client. Hi, I'm Luis, and I went from 0 to 40 clients in about 6 months, and I made a ton of mistakes along the way. And in this channel, I'm sharing everything that I'm learning as well as my creative work. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to avoid my mistakes, stick around. I have a little list that I'm going to go through in a second of things that I'm doing to try to get better clients. But the one thing that I wanted to emphasize first is that once you figure out how to get clients, meaning you do SDR, if you're going to do ads, if you're going to do referrals, whatever. Once you figure that out, it's pretty easy to actually get more clients. The problem is getting good clients has to do with filtering people along the way. So to the list, some of the things that I started considering when it comes to getting better clients. Okay, so number 1 on the list here, are they clients that are generally reasonable to work with? Because there will be clients that the second they understand that they're paying you money, they will treat you differently in a bad way. And that's not good. You want people that want to be partners with you in the sense of, hey, we are working together in order to accomplish this thing. I am the expert in the matter, therefore, my opinion matters and they need to see you as an authority on this. But at the end of the day, it's still something that's supposed to be collaborative, okay? If it feels odd, if the dynamic is weird, if in Brazil we have the saying, it's like the angels didn't hit each other. It's match. It's like the angels didn't match, right? If the angels don't match, dude, it just doesn't work. So the client might pay you a lot, but they're just a pain to work with. And if you started a business, there's a reason you started because you didn't like, your relationship with your boss. And your clients, in a way, are kind of like your bosses too. So you want that relationship to be good. Sometimes leaving money on the table in order to work with people that you actually resonate with and people that resonate with you, this matters a lot. This is the type of thing that, lets you go to bed and sleep easily at night. Oh, by the way, if you guys like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Hit the, like button over here. That's how I know that you guys are liking. That's how this channel grows, and that's how I continue to do things like this. Back to the video. 2, this is a little bit about pricing, and it's a touchy subject, but it matters a lot. And again, you guys are going to hear me talk a lot about Alex Hormozi here. I learned this from him. But here's the thing. Do I have enough healthy margins on this client to deliver my best service? For example, say a client costs you $1,000 to deliver, okay? And they're paying you $1,300, so you have $300 of profit. Cool. If something happens along the way, and either you couldn't be there on the day or they couldn't be there, whatever happens, it doesn't really matter. Anything happens, and you wanted to have extra money to either bring more people in to your team to deliver a better service, or to give them something for free, or to spend extra time with them. If you want to deliver a good service, a top-notch service, you need enough margins, you need enough profit, because that's what your business is going to be able to use as cushion to be able to provide the best service. So if you're running with tiny, tiny margins, you're always going to be so spread thin that your clients you're not going to be able to give them your time. And that's a problem. This is something I'm currently struggling with. Again, this channel is not about having all the answers, but things that I'm, figuring out and learned along the way. So this is one of them. So raising your prices, it's not greediness. It's not you trying to take advantage of anybody. In fact, if you have more people and more space and better trained people to deliver your services, then you're going to be able to, keep your clients for longer. So having healthy margins matters. And one of the things that you need to do when you're qualifying and getting better clients is to figure out, how much money they have available. Or maybe you don't even need to figure out the revenue, but you need to say a price, an investment that actually gives you enough margin for you to deliver the best service. Cool. 3rd one, and this is something that is so interesting. Again, learned from Alex Hormozi some way in the past, and I'm seeing this play out now. When a client comes to you, one of the things that matters for you to make, an evaluation is, look, has this client been in business for a long time? That's one. Because if they have been in business for a long time, chances are they will continue to be in business for a long time. Cool. Why does that matter? Because sometimes it takes a long time for you to acquire a client, it takes a lot of work. And imagine it takes so much work and then next year all of your clients are no longer in business. That's a problem, right? So, figuring out, hey, does it look like this client is going to be in business 5 years from now? Can this be an investment on my end, on this client, for us to grow together? That's part one. And the second part is, look, are they stuck in their mindset in the sense of they don't want to grow anymore? Because if that's the case and you want to grow, then you guys have a difference in mindset and you guys have a difference in goals and you guys are no longer aligned. And that's a problem too, because you're going to be one like, hey, let's do more, let's create better. And they're like, oh no, but this is good enough. Well, that matters too, right? It's all about seeing if the client has this fit with you. And again, I don't really just mean financially. I mean in the way that they see the world, in the way that they operate, and so on. These things matter. By the way, this is also why sometimes you have different people to serve different clients within your business. Because hey, this person is going to work well with that person and that person, this person and this person. So you can't, if you have a larger team, you get to, hey, maybe this client doesn't work with me, but it's going to work with her. It's going to work with him, and so on. That's why sometimes a team helps a lot. But I know a lot of you don't have teams, so this is just kind of an extra. There's a lot more topics. I'm going to mention one more, but if you guys have any ideas or things that have happened to you, please drop them in the comments. I want to see them. I want to learn from them. So let's make this a community. Let's grow each other. Let's make each other better. But the last thing I have here as an example is one of my first clients. I know I delivered a very good strategy and I delivered a very sound plan for them. And it was a short contract. It was 6 months. It wasn't that short, but it was split in different ways in the sense of we only got to start the strategy about 3 or 4 months in because of the way the structure of the deal was done. And the problem there was they invested the money, but they didn't put the time, right? Meaning I made the strategy, I made the scripts, everything got approved, they never got done. Now, Luis, maybe you should have provided a service of like, hey, I'll do this for you. Yes, they didn't have the budget for that. Also a problem, right? But again, it's one of those things like, okay, they paid me for the service, I provided the service, but they never got to see any results because they never executed their side of the plan. And then, 2 or 3 months after a contract was done, they're like, hey, do we still have access to this? I was like, sure, you do. But, at this point, it no longer works anymore. So these little things, you start seeing them, you start seeing patterns in clients, and the more you do, the more you know. So that's kind of one of the things that I need you guys to understand and learn faster than I did, is like, you're going to start seeing these patterns. Don't ignore them, because you're going to know when it's like a 5-star client and when it's not. So trust yourself on that as well. If there are any topics you want to know on this journey of 0 to 40 clients in 6 months that I had, please let me know. I'm also going to be releasing some of the videos of hotels and in trips that I have here, because again, my job is on the creative side. It just so happens that I'm a super analytical person, but when I'm executing with the camera. So it's kind of a combination between the creative and the analytical side. So if you guys have any questions, any topics you want to see covered here, let me know. I'm glad to help. We'll talk soon.